Game one of the day was very interesting in Charlotte. Washington and North Carolina. This Washington's C.J. Wilcox with a three. Huskies led 74-69. Carolina's Harrison Barnes a three to give the Tar Heels a 2-point lead at 78-76. Scott Suggs with a three, 84-83. Tar Heels. Now Washington's Vinoy overtime. The long three that was heading out of bounds. John Henson touched the ball first. Huskies basketball. Take another look. Watch the clock. The lefty throws it up right-handed. Henson, off his hands, bounces out of bounds. There is an official on the baseline with a good view of everything. The ball bounces his hand, and he points out the fact that the ball tipped off of Carolina's fingertips. It belongs to the Washington Huskies. So they have one last shot. Isaiah Thomas puts it up. It falls short. Lorenzo Romar with Tracy Wilson.
The officials to check the clock?
Yeah, we did ask them. They said they had already checked.
So Lorenzo Romar says they checked. There was no change made. North Carolina wins it by a score of 86-83. And Tracy Wilson now with a report from Charlotte with more on this story.
Guys, I had a chance to speak with Doug Shouse, who was the official during that last game between UNC and Washington, and he blew the whistle on that final shot. He said that Lorenzo Romar did ask for verification. He then went to the table, and the official of the clock who handled it said he does not need to go to the monitor. They said that the call was right because it's not when the ball hits the ground, but it's when the whistle blows. And because of technology, there's going to be an obvious lag. Guys?
All right, Tracy, thank you very much. Joining us now live from Atlanta is the the director of officiating for men's NCAA basketball, John Adams. John, thank you very much for your time. Your thoughts as the final seconds of that game wound down?
Well, incredibly exciting game. Comes down to absolutely applying the rules, living within the rules. Let me point out two things. First of all, officials may go to the monitor in that situation. By rule, they're not forced to go to the monitor. And second, Tracy had it right. The clock operator is supposed to stop the clock when the official signals the violation, which would have been watching the ball hit the floor, blowing your whistle. In other words, recognize the play. You have some human reaction time. Getting a chance to see it now. We have all sorts of resources available to us here in Atlanta and have reviewed this play a number of times. Probably come down on the side of the fact that the referee's whistle blew right around the 0.8, 0.7 second mark, tenth of a second mark. We've reviewed this with the alternate. They felt that the officials got it exactly right on the court at the time they blew the whistle. I guess in retrospect, I would feel like given the resources we had available and checking everybody and everything, I'm not sure that even if we had gone to the monitor, which they certainly could have done, that the technology is good enough to try and figure out 1/10 or 2/10 of a second in trying to place when that whistle blew and when the clock should have stopped.
All right, John, for the benefit of our viewers, we're going to replay that last second shot and also listen to the whistle and see exactly when it blew.
John, we spoke earlier before the half ended, and you said that you had no issue with how they done it, except for the fact that you were disappointed that maybe they didn't go to the monitor just because of the situation.
I'm a little disappointed, Greg, that we didn't use all the resources we had available to walk off the court knowing we got it 100% right.
One other thing. So based on that ruling, I'm going to give you a hypothetical. If that official had inadvertently blown his whistle earlier, let's say he'd blown it when Henson had touched the ball before it had gone out. By what you just based the rule as being, would that mean that they could have had like 2 seconds on the clock and they would have had to stay with that call?
Well, you've created a real hypothetical issue here involving an inadvertent whistle, and I'm not sure we have enough time to go through that whole rule, but that would have created an unbelievable ending to the game where we might have had to go to the alternating possession arrow to determine who even had possession of the ball.
All right.
Hey, John, do me a favor. Whatever you're paying the officials, multiply it times 10. I cannot believe the pressure that they're under. It's incredible these days. The players are under great pressure, certainly. Everybody is. But the referees just, it's gotten so out of control with the reaction time that they've got to come up with and make the calls. It's incredible. And they're doing a fabulous job this year.
Yeah, by and large, Rick, I would agree with you on almost game after game. You know, we raise our hands to go into the arena, and that's part of the risk that we take.
Hey, John Adams, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. And we will, of course, it's going to generate just a little bit of conversation as we move on.